one example of something from a couple of the groups. You guys were September 11th, national security. Somebody from your group, if you could share out just one example of something you found, whether you thought it was primary or secondary. Thank you, Dick.
One more problem was maybe chief executive. The president could imprison people without charge. I found it in the photograph when he looked. I believe it was primary.
Okay, so you found, what was that again, that he could imprison people without charge? Okay, so I think that probably is a selection from the USA Patriot Act. And if you're looking at the Patriot Act, that could be a primary source document, okay? If you were looking at a book that kind of explained and gave kind of their interpretation of the Patriot Act, that would be a secondary source. So you're going to have to figure out which one that is because you'd be looking at the source, okay? All right, from you guys, what group were you? What was your class? Japanese internment. Can somebody just share out one example of something the president did and if it was primary or secondary?
There was a picture of President Roosevelt signing the Declaration of War.
Okay.
Was it a primary source?
Okay. Yeah, they actually had a picture. They also had the Day That Will Live in Infamy speech. They had a bunch of really good World War II primary documents. Okay. All right, one other group. Civil rights. Okay. Give me one example of something the president did and whether it was primary or secondary. You bet.
The president was attempting to free slaves.
Okay. And what was your document? Was it a primary or a?
It was primary.
Okay, and what was, do you remember what your primary document was?
Emancipation Proclamation.
Very good. Okay. All right. So hopefully you're starting to get a sense now that you've seen some examples. And also, if you're interested in the topics, we actually have a bunch of books. In those envelopes, there was a list of books you saw. Although it wasn't something for you to interpret, it does show you we do have some other interesting titles on each of these, as well as about the presidents, if you're interested. Okay? What I want you to do on your sticky note, this is your exit card. So first thing I want you to do is put your name on the top. Okay. I am going to be collecting and looking at and evaluating both your sticky note and your chart. Okay, so make sure both your chart and sticky note have your name on them. Okay, so write your name on the sticky note. Okay, on your sticky note, and the assignment is actually on the back of your primary, secondary handout. Under conclusion, if you are sort of a visual person and you'd like to look at it, do you mind clicking on that one? All right, so you have your name. I want you to put down an example of any primary source. Okay? I'd like it to be specific. So not just like, I don't know, whatever you would pick, like not just a letter. I want to know something that you pulled from a book, something that maybe your group members shared. So try and give me a really kind of, the Day That Will Live in Infamy speech. Okay? I want that kind of detail. Okay, so I want a primary source. Oh, I think it's the Word document, yeah. Oh, it's not the second one. Okay, that's fine. I want a primary source. Okay. And what you will do, in just a minute when everyone's done writing, I want you to put it on the name of the role that you think is most important. So if you had to boil it down to one role that is most important for the president to have, I want you to stick it on the one that you think is most important. Okay? 4 of them are up on the side, 2 of them are up front. So whenever you are done writing your answer of your name, primary source, come on up and stick your notes up. Nope, it could be any topic, so it doesn't have to be Homeland Security September 11th, but I do want it to be specific, okay? Okay, when you're ready, go on up.
Joe?
Yes, yep,
The one that's nice.
sure, as long as it was
No,
primary.
you're gonna choose the
Yeah,
one you
yep.
think is the
One's
most
primary.
important role that the president does. It's not gonna be directly tied to your student. So you're gonna write down just one example of a primary source.
Remember, there are
And
4 of
then
them on the
place you
side,
put
2
your
are up
student
front.
is gonna be the role that you think is the most important.
Thank you so much. Okay, so your name and a primary source. So if you found a primary source in your chart, you could put that down,
I got it.
okay? And let's look at primary versus secondary. Can you think of any example, like any famous diary? Can you think of any photographs that maybe you've seen that you could put down? Some big event that happened in history. Okay, and you could put that down as your example. You could think about something from here. Okay, so I just need that on your way out. We have about 1 more minute. 30 seconds even. So far, it's a pretty close race. Okay, stick your sticky note up. Go ahead and put all extra deck of cards back in the envelopes as well for me. Thank you guys, you did an excellent job. I am curious to see who, which roll wins. So far, it's like a 4-way tie. Just make sure you stick it up before you go. And go ahead and collect and leave those cards in the middle of your table. I'm going to come around and collect your cards. Okay, not your notes, just your cards. All right, have a good day. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Can you guys actually help me move the tables back to rows, please? Okay, I think we had 6 rows across. We'll do 6 rows across. This last row only had 3 chairs.
This one you
It goes on whichever of those goals you think. This is in your way. Oh, that's fine. Thank you guys for holding the chairs back. Stop.